Welcome, women. Thank you for checking out this video. I know talking about sex can come across possibly disrespectful or creepy, and I guarantee you in this video, you will find the exact opposite of that. We're not going through any sleazy type shite. We're going to be talking about how a woman can increase your fulfillment and the type of sex that you find, the type of guys that you attract, the type of connection that you have with men and your sexuality in general that will absolutely transform the entire experience for you. And we're not going to be getting into anything crazy or kinky or that sort of shit. You can find that in endless other places, but I really don't think you'll find a lot of the content that we're going to go through, even though it's the most non-controversial stuff. You're not going to find it very well represented anywhere on social media just because it doesn't sell. Now, if you are wondering, why on earth should I trust this weird random dude that YouTube or that Instagram brought up to talk to me about my sex life? Well, that's a totally valid question. I would suggest watch the video that I just posted as well for men on how to connect better with women. And you'll very quickly see what I stand for, what I practice in my own life, what I preach, and how I think men and women can benefit from learning how to connect better together. And then comment on it. If you think I'm full of shite, comment in that video saying, don't listen to this guy. And if you think, damn, he was reading my mind and this is super important to me and he nailed that, then yeah, write that in the comments as well. And comment on this video. Give me the feedback. Do you think this is interesting? And when you practice this in your life, does it help you? So the very first thing, same as we went through in the men's video, for women, you need to learn to filter better because this is where almost all your dating problems come from. You're dating losers. I'm sorry, on behalf of men, I will apologize to you that 80% of men in the dating pool right now are really pathetic and best avoided. However, you have to take some accountability here because 80% of most women in the dating pool are pathetic and should be avoided as well. So this really isn't a gender battle, even though in the West currently it's being presented as one. All women are XYZ. Avoid them. They're terrible creatures. All men are horrible, horrible, horrible. Avoid them. They're terrible creatures. No. Grow up. This is not a gender battle. There are amazing, mind-blowing, incredible men out there. And there are absolutely exceptional, incredible women out there. Now, the trick is, how do you filter out all the losers? And how do you make sure that you are exceptional yourself? And then you find an exceptional man and you guys bond together, whether that is for a week, for a night, for the rest of your life to have children with. That you can kind of figure out as you go along. But even if it's just for a night, you should only be with an exceptional guy and filter out all those substandard men and just don't give them your gift, whether it's sex or even just your energy and your time, because they're toxic and it's not worth it. And you should be focusing on yourself, improving yourself, and then connect with exceptional men, because I guarantee you there's a lot of them out there. And so how do you filter better? Well, currently women are being taught a lot of bullshit in how to filter. I want a man that's over 6 feet tall. I want a man that makes more than 100K and is in finance. I want a man that drives this car. I want a man that can give me this, that can give me this, and can give me this. Dazzle dazzle bullshit. No, that's not cool. That's actually being a prostitute. That's not what you want. What you want, that's what society is telling you that you want. But be a little bit smarter. You should be filtering men based on character qualities, traits that they have. Yes, you may be more attracted to a guy that's 6'2" than a guy that's 5'9". Okay, everybody has their own, maybe you're more attracted to darker guys or lighter guys or guys with bigger muscles or skinny guys. I don't care, whatever. You have your own personal taste, as we all do. That's okay, filter that in there. But that should be like, 10% of it. The majority of it should be focused on their character qualities. Wow, this guy's honest. Hey, that's cool. That's really cool to have on your list. Honest guys are fucking cool. This guy's very authentic and real. He's present when he's with me. He's not in his mind living out porn fantasies or when he goes to the bathroom chatting up other girls on Tinder. Okay, it's probably kind of cool to be with a guy that's present with you, honest, authentic, has the courage to be real, treats people well, kind. He's not an asshole. He's not arrogant. He's has some humility. Like, these are great qualities to look for in a man, but they just don't sell on social media. The social media is not saying, hey, this guy's so fucking sexy because he's so humble. I mean, okay, maybe sometimes, yeah, look at Keanu Reeves. Total freaking stallion and a very humble man. It's great quality, very attractive in a man. But you need to learn how to filter better. And a lot of your mistakes in your dating life, a lot of your painful traumas from your past come from your own fault in dating poorly or choosing poorly. And I'm not attacking you because I've made some extremely terrible dating decisions in my past. And so have you. The difference is women are not usually encouraged to take personal responsibility, but you are smarter than those other women and you're more mature because you're watching this video. So I want you to take some personal accountability there. You are personally responsible for the decisions that you made in your past. A lot of them didn't work out because you chose the wrong guys. Now that's a very important place to start, because if you can choose better, then you will have a better experience going forward. If you have no personal responsibility in this, and those guys are just assholes, and all men are assholes, well then your dating life will never change. It will never improve, because it can't improve, because all men are terrible. The secret here is that you need to accept that, yeah, you screwed up when you chose that guy. You screwed up when you stayed loyal to that guy and he cheated on you. But you never should have been dating that guy. You stayed with that guy and then he became physically abusive with you. But you should have never been dating that guy. I'm not blaming you for something bad that happened, but I am blaming you for choosing that person. And it's the exact same for me. I've chosen very terrible people to bond with in my past. And so you have a bad experience and then you learn and you grow and then you can do better in the future. And that's what you need to zero in on. Learn how to filter better. It will solve a lot of your problems. So this video assumes that you've already filtered well. You've got an actual really good man, because you're going to be doing some crazy stuff in this video with him. Not crazy kinky, but crazy things that society does not recommend for women. But I promise you, if you start implementing these in the way that you date, oh my God, the level of connection that you can have with a man and the level of quality that you will find in the men that you are with will go absolutely 10x. It'll go through the roof, I promise you. Another reason that you need to take personal responsibility like that, and you need to get over the pain from your past and recognize that a lot of it was your own fault. And so you have control over that so it doesn't have to occur again and again in your future. Another reason for that is there's this phenomenon that occurs in women, and guys can pick up on it super fast. Women will have been hurt several times and have baggage, or maybe she went a little crazy in her early 20s and did the sausage fest thing or whatever. And then a woman decides, hey, wait a second, I have more value. I value myself more. I want a real relationship with a man. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to just actually date and fall in love and be treated like a little princess. I don't mean financially and any of that sugar baby bullshit, because that's garbage. I mean actually just a good, loving connection where you feel incredible, like actually to experience exceptional connection with a man. And then a woman will fall into this place, and a guy can see this in a second. And if he's a healthy guy, he's just gonna walk. And unfortunately, it's going to mean that you're stuck dating a lot of losers that are gonna lie to you and betray you. And so what happens in the woman is she recognizes, hey, in my past, my last 3 relationships didn't work out well. All those guys cheated on me, suppose. So I had bad relationships in the past, and I want that to change. But if a woman doesn't address that she was the reason because she chose those guys, she's going to say those guys are the reason. And so she's going to create a system in her mind that is going to prevent that from happening again in the future. So women will typically fall into this way of thinking where they say like, okay, the problem with that was I had sex on the first date or in the first month or whatever. So now I'm not going to have sex with the guy until the 3rd date or the 6th date, or until he proposes to me, or until we're dating and exclusive, whatever. A woman will think that sex is the currency, and she will say, okay, I'm going to make him jump through this hoop in order to get what I think he wants out of me. The problem is immediately a guy that's healthy will smell this. And, as a guy, you can have sex. It's very easy. So he's not going to wait around to jump through your hoops to get the gift or the reward that you think you're giving him. Because a healthy guy is actually the reward is connection with a healthy woman. That's a man's reward when he's healthy, not sex. It's connection with a healthy woman. And a woman that's playing those manipulative kind of games is going to pre-attract, she's going to filter out those good guys, and she's going to attract guys that actually just want to use her for sex. And you are literally going to go out with a guy and you're going to say, hey, look, I have a rule. I won't sleep with guys until the 4th date, whatever your rule is, right? And you're going to quickly repel the healthy guy that would have wanted to connect with you and actually turn you into his girlfriend. And you're going to end up with a guy that is just going to lie to you and tell you what you want to hear. Oh yeah, that's cool. I totally respect that in a woman, yada, da, da, da. And he waits until the 6th date or until 2 months or whatever it is. And then you find out he's got a girl on the side. He's got a girlfriend that he's had for the last 9 months. And that's why he's so okay with going out with you and not having sex for the first 6 dates, because he's just been patiently waiting to use you like a piece of meat. You don't want to be with that guy. I don't want you to be with that guy. Fuck that guy. He can go starve to death. I don't want you to be with that guy. And the way you can avoid being with that guy is to become more connected to who you are and filter on better principles and not have some silly little system that's going to protect you, because the system that's supposed to protect you is your way of filtering. Is this guy being authentic and honest with me? Is this a guy that I should be connecting with? And if it's not a guy you should be connecting with, then you shouldn't have sex with him on the 10th date. And if it is a guy that you should be connecting with, then it doesn't matter. You have more freedom with that guy, and you're going to feel it and you're going to know it. And you can do what you want with that guy because he's actually a good option, because you filtered out the bad options. So this is super important that you take this on board and get away from the other way of thinking. Don't make a man earn your sex, because the truth is men can get sex very easily as well, in all different forms, even without paying for it. And so the gift that you have to give is not between your legs. It's not sex. The gift that you have to give is you and femininity, and you giving that person kind of all of you. That's the gift. And when you learn how to do that, obviously you have to have filtered out all the bad guys and only give that to a very exceptional guy. When you can give that gift, you are all of a sudden completely different than the other women in the dating pool. Because most women are just a body that has nothing more to offer. And so most women, this is very common for guys, he'll go out with a guy that he's attracted to and then realize that she doesn't actually have any substance to her. And it's very boring. She's literally on social media, on Tinder or on Instagram. She's literally communicating to the world, look, I have breasts and I have an ass. Look at me in my bikini. Look at how great I am. The exact same poses and filters and bikinis and everything as the next girl and the next girl and the next girl and the next girl. And when a guy has had a little bit of experience with women, he very quickly wants to filter those women out because they don't have any substance. They don't have what he actually craves. And if you're a guy watching this video, which I do encourage you to watch the rest of this video, comment in the comment section. Am I full of shit here, or am I actually representing men well? And I think that I am, because I am a man, you probably noticed. And the majority of my clients have been men, and I've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, and I've been dating a ton before that. So I'm quite aware of how masculinity and femininity interacts with each other. What a man craves in you is not simply between your legs. He craves your feminine energy, your unique flavor of femininity. So now you have filtered very well. You're with an exceptional man. You've dealt with the baggage of your past. You're not playing any of these system games where you're trying to make him jump through hoops to get the reward between your legs. You've outgrown that silly, absurd, pathetic way of thinking. And you're not filtering based on how much he makes and how tall he is and these types of silly things. You're filtering based on higher quality values and characteristics. Well, now what? How can you have incredible sex that you've never experienced before? How can you take it to the next level for your own fulfillment? And how can you offer that gift to the man that you're with? So you will literally blow his mind. And I gotta tell you, you're gonna be absolutely shocked by this. It's not by some special secret technique. If you touch him here, if you do this, if you say this, that's not it. Men are drawn to your femininity, your vulnerability. Most women, especially in the West, because they have not filtered well, they've been burned a number of times, and they do not give this gift to men anymore. And on top of that, they teach other women in social media and TikTok and whatever, become less feminine, less vulnerable, because it gets you ahead in the workforce, and it sucks being vulnerable and getting burned. So this is a way for you to avoid ever being burned again. But the problem is you give pathetic sex to men and you experience pathetic sex with men because You don't understand how to integrate your femininity properly. Great sex occurs when you intentionally bring your femininity to the surface and you let him enjoy it. And how do you do that? Well, you do that through your vulnerability. This is why I said learning to upgrade your filter and filtering properly is so important. Because if you don't filter properly, you're going to do something that is incredibly dangerous to do, which is trusting and becoming vulnerable with the wrong type of man. That's not something you want to do. Unfortunately, you have to learn this the hard way a couple times. But you want to learn to filter out the bad men, even if it's just for a one-night stand. Only be with exceptional. Only ever be with exceptional. And then you can let your guard down. You can let that guy create a very safe place for you to lower your guard and let yourself be vulnerable with him. That vulnerability in a woman is something that us as men very rarely see. It stands out like a shining beacon. It is a light of hope to men to see that feminine vulnerability. That immediately puts you into like probably the top 5% of women in the dating pool if you can discover how to let that side of yourself come out. Because all of society and social media is stacked against you, teaching you to not do that. And if you can give that gift to a man, I can guarantee you, even if physically you're a 6 or a 7, like still work on your fashion, go to the gym, do your yoga or whatever, okay, makeup, those things are all important, you know, definitely learn to walk in heels. That's an art, that's super important. That feminine vulnerability is so shockingly gorgeous in a woman. Most men don't even realize it. When they encounter it, they don't know what it is. They just go, wow, she's so feminine, she's so sexy, she's so attractive, I so loved being with her. They don't know what it actually is in her that electrified the connection. But I'm telling you from my own personal experience meeting thousands of different women, interacting with them, I don't mean a dating, I mean interactions. You can very quickly, over a period of time, you can quickly start to sense that in a woman. And as a guy, as a masculine man, we start filtering women based on that immediately. When you see that, you start giving her more time and priority to actually get to know her. And when you see the opposite of it, the guardedness and the lack of vulnerability, very quickly guys are just like, yep, next. I'm not going to bother getting to know her and trying to lower her walls to get the great reward that she thinks she has between her legs. To a masculine guy, he's just like, no, I'm going to go to a woman that already understands how to be vulnerable in her femininity. And I'm just going to enjoy time with her. I'm just going to not go out with the other one. She can go out with some other guy. So I want you to accept, as a woman, this is just I think women are amazing and I think you're extremely strong. You have children, for crying out loud. Like you have babies. You're very strong. Women are very strong. There's one part of femininity that I think culture has obliterated and sacrificed on the altar of feminism, and it is your need for validation. There's nothing wrong. I think it's beautiful that I believe a feminine woman needs validation from an external source. I mean, if you look at women just walking in heels or fashion or makeup, or women that the way they go to the gym or they get surgeries or all the stuff that women do to just improve the way they look to others. And they can say, oh, I do this for my confidence. Yeah, you do that for your confidence because it's how you look to others and it's the validation that you receive from others. Women need a tremendous amount of validation from others. This is why Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it's why they all took off, because they promise you can have unlimited validation on our platforms. Women, I don't think, you can argue because you don't like the way that it sounds, but the truth is women need external validation. And it's just us in our stupidity that began saying that's a bad thing. No, you shouldn't need validation. Just look in the mirror, love yourself. Validate yourself. I'm so beautiful. I'm so special. It doesn't work. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's designed to work in a certain way. Women need external validation. Men have the opportunity to pass their validation to a woman. The problem is it's become extremely bastardized and corrupted because women now are taught to not filter. It's okay that you need validation from a man outside of yourself. Or I should even say just external sources, but especially a man if you're in a dating type relationship, if you're Even if you're just meeting that guy and you're first starting to date, it's natural that you crave and need his validation of you. Now, you can understand why I'm saying this goes countercultural here, because women are being taught you don't need any validation, and yet at the same time, post a bunch of bikini pictures on Instagram because you'll get a bunch of validation and you'll feel good about yourself, but you don't need it because you love yourself. It's a load of shit. The truth is you need external validation, especially from qualified men or a man. When you post your bikini pics on Tinder or Instagram and you get 1,000 guys hitting you up in your DMs, 99% of them just want to use you, and those are pathetic men. That's not qualified, good, healthy validation. Oh, baby, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, your ass looks so amazing in that bikini. That's not validation. That's disgusting. That's McDonald's food. It's not even McDonald's food. It's like candy. It has no nutritional value. The truth is, you need validation, but you have to be very selective who you select to give you that validation. And part of a really incredible sexual connection is when you meet a guy that you think is worthy to be on that list of people that have the ability to give you or not give you their validation. And then you trust and enter into it with that man, opening up and letting him feel how much you crave his validation of you. It's a very vulnerable place. I get that that's scary because you've been burned in the past. But again, we have to go back to the fact that a large part of those times that you've been burned in the past is because you didn't filter well, right? So you're going to filter better now. And so now when you're with somebody that you've filtered out, the 9 out of 10 losers, and he's an exceptional guy, okay, with him, it's okay for you to let yourself crave his validation of you, of your beauty. It's okay to crave that. It's very feminine. It's very vulnerable. And when he senses in you the different ways that you communicate to that, okay, maybe you tell him, maybe you show him, whatever. But when he senses that feminine vulnerability in you, it's mind-blowing for a man. And he is thrilled to give you the gift of his validation. And that happens through the way that he interacts with you and through sex and in all different ways. And you feel validated by that. Yes, this sounds so weak when you compare it to the feminist, model or narrative. But here's the thing. Women are constantly going on OnlyFans and Instagram and TikTok to get that validation in a disgusting way. What I'm talking about is a pre-selected guy. And yes, you are giving him a lot of control and power in the interaction. Yes, you are. But guess what? That's how it happens. It's like dancing salsa. The guy is leading in the salsa dance. That's the way masculinity works. We're supposed to lead and protect and provide and take care of and build up and do all these amazing things. And the feminine has her role in that. You're giving him the gift of your trust. You're letting him lead you. You're following and allowing him to protect you. There's a yin and a yang to it. Neither is above the other. We interact, we connect with each other. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say complete each other, but they're purposes that fit together, And you have to be in that feminine role if you want to be dating a guy that's in that masculine role. And I'm not talking about a controlling, macho, bully type guy. That's bullshit. I'm talking about a guy that's just in his feminine or in his masculine essence, and he understands how to be a masculine man. That's probably who you want to be dating. And if you're a masculine woman and you're very feminist, I don't know why you're watching this video, because I'm completely in the opposite reality to you. But if you want to learn how to connect better with men, I'm telling you openly, show them that feminine vulnerability. And you will blow a man's mind, especially when you learn how to integrate that into the way that you walk, the way that you dress, the way that you flirt, the way that you kiss, the way that you have sex, the way that you orgasm, all of it. It's literally different places, different opportunities to communicate to a man that craving for his validation and that craving for connection with you. And that's a beautiful thing if you have filtered out all the losers and if you are with a man that is worthy of that gift. Because if you end up giving that gift to the wrong type of man, yeah, he will exploit you, he will oppress you, he will use you, he will beat you, he will betray you. But then that's your fault because you didn't filter that one out, right? And it's the same as a man. As a man, if I'm dating a very feminine woman, and if I don't filter out all the losers, and I go deep with this one particular woman, what do you think she's going to do? If she's a bad woman, she's going to lie, she's going to cheat, she's going to betray, she's going to use me, exploit. It's the same. She's just not going to do it through force. She's going to do it through her body or other ways of manipulating men, right? So for both of us, we're in the same boat. Filter out the losers. Go deep with the ones that deserve it. But let your need for validation come out in the way that you interact with your man. And I promise you, you will, when you receive that gift, especially during sex, it will be absolutely mind-blowing to you because you will be receiving what you are craving. And then don't go looking for the candy variety of that on Instagram. No, it's not how it works. Stop posting those thirst trap bullshit on Instagram and TikTok. Instead, you literally go to your man for that. And you don't give that to other uneligible men on Instagram and TikTok. This is the difference. You are literally getting your validation needs met in a healthy way from a pre-selected man that you've brought into your life. And the man will feel that presence and that priority, and he will treat you much better if you filtered out the bad ones and selected a good one. That's how it's supposed to work. Currently, it's not working like that. Women say we don't need validation, and then they love themselves, and then they go on Instagram and show basically their entire body to try and get validation from a ton of men, or on Tinder or whatever, to just get a bunch of men to try and give them validation. It's being a validation whore, and it's very unattractive to a man. So don't post those kinds of thirst traps. Value yourself higher. You should be valued higher because you probably have a lot more value to offer. And I want you to enter into that and to have a better experience, sexually and relationally and connection. So if you got something out of this video, comment, tell me I'm out to lunch, tell me I'm on the right path here in your experience. If you're a man watching this, give me that feedback. If you're a woman watching this, tell me the impact that this has on your dating life going forward. Follow me, watch for other content, and definitely watch, if you're a woman watching this, watch the video that I did for men about how to have better sex with women, and then comment on it. Comment, tell me if I'm out to lunch. Or tell me, holy shit, this dude's on point on this, on this, on this. Want to hear about your experience. Let's really get men and women interacting better and communicating healthy and with respect and properly in learning about each other, instead of having these dumb gender wars that are being promoted everywhere. Thanks for your time watching this video, and I really look forward to getting to know you better.